Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review, and today we're going to be looking at something a bit different. It's the RovyVon SL41, and it's always a pleasure when I get to review a light from RovyVon. There's always something exciting and unique about each one, and I think for me that's a rare feeling since I just review so many flashlights these days. And this one here, as I mentioned, the SL41, this is part of their new SL or safety light series that crams in a load of different features and LEDs all in one rectangular package. So you've got UV LEDs, you've got white LEDs, you've got even secondary red and white flood LEDs on the side. It's basically an all-in-one EDC flashlight and signal light. And so RovyVon sent me this sample of the SL41 for this review. So let's have a look at what's included. And you get this box, and it's a nice little carry case. As you can see, it just has a little clasp here. There are a bunch of accessories that it comes with. Of course, you get the instruction manual, USB-C charging cable here. There's also some a bag here with a replacement gasket. So that's where the USB-C port, basically goes on the outside of the USB-C port. Also get a little warranty card here as well. But that's pretty much it apart from the light itself. I thought I'd bring in a few of my other flashlights here by the side. And, it's very difficult. It was quite difficult for me to find something to actually compare the SL41 with because it's just such a unique looking flashlight. I do have a bunch of signal lights, but they are pretty tiny. They almost resemble this one here, the RovyVon E8, but just on a smaller and maybe a more economic scale, but the E8, as you can see, it's got a bunch of these additional auxiliary LEDs here on the side, got red, normal white, and UV LEDs there on the side, and you got a couple of these normal SST20 LEDs there. But I mean, if you compare it to the SL41, you've got much larger battery for one, and I don't know, it's probably, just count all the material in there, probably 3 times the size, 2 to 3 times the size of the E8. A lot heavier as well. It's over 100 grams, but again, it does have a ton of different features, and all the secondary lights especially are a lot brighter because there's multiple LEDs, not just a single auxiliary LED. Wouldn't even call it a secondary. It's almost like a floodlight for red LEDs and white LEDs here on the side. Got the Convoy S8 here just for comparison, because this is one I carry along with me pretty often. And, it's a normal tube style flashlight, which I think fits very easily in your pocket. Now this one here, the SL41 does come with a clip on the back, so this allows you to just clip it onto your belt. You can take that off so it fits a little bit easier if you want to pocket it directly. And yeah, again, my ace beam, it's my ace beam poke lit AA for comparison as well. A little close-up of the SL41, and you can see here the external parts of the light constructed from polycarbonate. And move over to the back, polycarbonate. Clip it's got a bit of metal here, but basically the front of it is rubberized. So this little panel here, we've got all the different buttons, and surprisingly this light actually weighs 120 grams. I think there is some type of internal heatsink, plus you have that 2500 milliamp hour battery, so that's definitely going to explain the extra weight. You can see around the sides here there are a bunch of these transparent windows. The LEDs go all the way around the light itself, so that just allows the light to pass through. Taking the clip off the back of the SL41, you'll see this kind of panel there, metal panel. There is a magnet underneath, so it's a very strong magnet. This will allow you to attach the light to overhead or pretty much to any metallic object. All right, so in order to attach the clip, you can see here in the back of the light, there is a circle here, just a circle that's not been filled in, and then a complete circle that's been filled in. So I'll show you what that one means afterwards, but basically what you have to do is align this little metal nub here on the clip, that little circular nub, with that circle, push down, okay, it clamps down, and all you have to do is just rotate the light. So then you can have the clip in this orientation, depending on how you want to hold the light. Now, if you want to then take out the clip, move it all the way across the left, and you'll see here it kind of gets stuck on this point here where the filled in circle lines up with the metal nub again. So in order to move it past that point, you just have to press down on that nub. Okay, and once it reaches that other part of the circle, you can then pull out like that. So pretty simple. The RovyVon SL41 comes with a 2500 milliamp lithium polymer cell, and it also comes with USB-C charging. So you can see here, right there on the side, you just got to peel off the cover. There it is. Very easy to locate. You can also see there's a battery indicator light there on the side. One thing I really like about RovyVon is that they try to cram in the highest capacity lithium polymer cells in these sort of lights that they make, the ones that just don't have a replaceable cell. And I think that's a really good addition because it just means that the battery's going to last longer before that light gives out. On the front of the SL41, you can see just on the sides here, there's a couple of these 365 nanometer UV LEDs. To me, they look a bit like SST 10 LEDs in there. And yeah, they produce a heap of UV light, probably the most out of all of my dedicated UV lights that I own. I only own a couple of them, but yeah, I think the combination of just both of them produce a heap of light. There's no visible light filter there on the front, and you've also got primary LEDs here as well. So 2 times SST20 LEDs, 6500K, and they are rated at 1000 lumens. Now on the sides, you can see here there are a bunch of these SMD LEDs. So there's basically 8 white and 8 red LEDs. So you can see here the additional ones are just on the sides, and the white ones here on the back. Each group of these LEDs that I've shown you are operated via all of these buttons here on the front panel. And it's quite interesting because RovyVon are also releasing other variants of this light, including the SL42, 43, 44, 45, and 46, which have various combinations of LEDs depending on your needs. For example, the 45 to 46 comes with 850 nanometer infrared LEDs. I'm not sure if they're used as signaling LEDs for teammates with night vision, or maybe just a night vision assist. All right, so I'm going to go through a quick demonstration of the UI. Now, I've actually locked the SL41 at the moment, and the way you do that is just basically press and hold down this button here. Normally, this button will activate the red LEDs. Now, if you just press, it's going to go through this sort of pattern. As you can see, this light pattern with the red LED. Now press and hold for 5 seconds and you'll notice the back ones, there you go, blink. So there you go, it is now on. Okay, so I'll show you how to activate each LED. So like I said, this one here at the front, just press once and you activate the red LEDs. And you've got a low, high, you've got this kind of flashy mode there, and then you've got this moving signal light, I suppose, and then it goes back to the beginning. Press and hold to turn off. This next feature here activates the front LEDs, so these side LEDs, sorry, the white ones, and again, similar kind of functionality. Yeah, keep pressing it, and it will go through this light pattern as well. And it's only 3 modes in there. Press and hold to switch off. To activate the 2 main kind of, I'd say these are the throwier LEDs. So anything on the sides, these lights, these side LEDs here, because they're not in a reflector or anything like that, they're just not going to produce much throw. But with that TIR lens, for these SST40s, they do produce significant throw over 100 meters. And yeah, press once, press again, and that's the 1000 lumen mode. It's really bright and it just cycles through. There's no memory mode as well. And of course, you've got this UV mode, which is pretty simple. Just press, it turns on and turns off. As you can see here, I've activated a bunch of different LEDs at the same time, but keep in mind that you can only activate either the SST20 LEDs there or the UV LEDs at once. Okay, so I ran a couple of ceiling balance tests here on high, and this is just the main LEDs, the SST20 LEDs rated at 1000 lumens. And you can see as soon as I turn it on, it starts to step down immediately. And by the 2-minute mark, you're on about 60% of the output. So continued running the test past the 16-minute mark, and you can see pretty much holds its output, but there is a slight decline. I ran a second ceiling bounce test here on the 400 lumen mode, so medium, and you can see it pretty much maintains 90 to 100% of the output past the 30-minute mark. You can see that the SST20 6500A LEDs, I managed to get a rating of 148 meters on high. That's a switch on figure, which is pretty impressive given how small the lens of this flashlight is. You know, it's 68 CRI, 67 to 68, so definitely on the lower end. And that's just because these LEDs are designed mainly for visibility rather than color recognition. The CCT range from 5,800 to 6,000. Also ran a couple of other tests, as you can see here, with the white and red LEDs, getting between 6 to 18 meters of throw, 18 meters with the white LEDs on high. I was quite impressed with the SST20s in this light. They were really bright and such a little enclosure, and definitely threw further than I expected. The step down, it's pretty reasonable too. So, you know, from 1000 to 600 lumens manages to also hold its output. And yeah, same goes with those UV LEDs, really bright. The side LEDs here function a lot better if you use them as close proximity lights, maybe like a walking light, floodlight, that kind of thing. Even a reading light they'd be good for, but not for long distance use. So some considerations that you need to be aware of. I do wish the UV button was off to the side, away from all the other buttons. So yeah, just make sure that you face the light away from you when you're activating it, just in case you press the wrong button. These UV LEDs are very powerful, but it's good to know that there is a lock function, maybe if you're storing it away. The second consideration is the non-replaceable battery, but like I mentioned before, it's 2,500 milliamp hours, so it's going to definitely withstand wear for much longer. The third consideration is, of course, cost. Now, this is going to be priced more than other signal lights out there, but in my opinion, it's more of an all-rounder EDC flashlight. It's almost like a souped-up version of some of the other RovyVon lights that you see out there. I mean, this is the E8, but you know, I've reviewed another one called the A8 as well. It's as if it's taken all the auxiliary LEDs and stepped it up by adding more of them, adding in a larger battery. Overall, this is one of the most unique all-in-one flashlights I've seen out there. And I know it's marketed as a safety / signal light, but the SL41 is a great standalone EDC flashlight. The 1000 lumen output is more than enough for most purposes, especially if you're going out for a bit of a walk. And the floody side lights as well, they're great for closer up use as a walking reading light. You can see this could be useful for people who are campers, hikers, kind of outdoors enthusiasts. And yeah, like I said, these UV lights really blew me away with just how much light it was able to produce, probably because I only have like a single LED, those single LED UV lights. If you are looking for a no hassles, easy to use, do it all flashlights, check out the SL41. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to take a look. And if you have questions, just leave them down below. I'll get through to answering them. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click the like button. It helps me to get this video out and recommended to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews, keep up to date with the latest news, make sure you subscribe. RovyVon SL41 here, and the first thing I'll activate is this throwy light. They're 2x SST20 in the TIR lenses, okay, and that's the highest mode, but you got your low, which is too low for the camera to be picked up, to pick up on it. Second mode there, and third mode. I have to say that's really impressive for teeny little lens like this. It's reaching the back of that field very easily. Look at that. Amazing. I mean, it does step down quickly on the high mode, obviously, but it's there when you need it. You can always cycle back to it like that. Very white light as well. Let's just go through, have a look at the, maybe see if the UV mode, if it's visible from here. Not really. Can't really see it here in camera. And what I'll do is activate the white LEDs. White LEDs. Might be better if I just go for a walk. Okay. So this is great as a walking light. These white LEDs. Surprisingly effective, even though there is a bit of ambient light. Manages to illuminate all the way up to the edge of that grass in the front. There's a few other modes as well. So this one here, it is just cycling the LEDs so that it appears that it's kind of, you know, lights moving from left to right, right to left. Okay. Low, high, and then you've got this mode. Now, there is a red mode as well, so that's the low mode on red, high mode on red. Really comforting. I love using red lights, especially at night time. There's something really soothing about it and relaxing, and it doesn't mess with your night vision as well. Okay, but the range of this red light, I mean, practically, I'd say, you know, a couple of meters max, especially just with a bit of ambient light here. This is the little warning light feature that it has on it. It flashes the red lights. Then you've got this one as well, just the same pattern as was before with the white light, sort of moving from left to right, and then it just goes and cycles again. Now, I did find that there was this interesting mode. You press and hold this middle button in the center, and it flashes both the white and the red light to create this kind of really bright, almost beacon. And I tell you what, this thing would definitely get some attention if you needed it. Okay, it just flashes in all, it's like an omnidirectional thing really. But it doesn't light up the side LEDs for some reason. But you can still see it easily from the side. And I'll just turn on now the main LEDs. Again, the two SST40s, just to show you SST20s. So low, medium, high. It's something that you could just put on your belt, walk with very easily. Like that. An interesting thing is you can also activate these other lights at the same time. So yeah, you can have these other white lights there on the side if you need. Really activate all of them at the same time, which is unnecessary, but you know, the option's there if you choose it. I'm just completely blinding myself now.